Hi guys, so I've said before that there's a difference between those who voted for Brexit and Brexiteers. Many people who chose to leave back in 2016, they've come to the realization that it was a mistake. The others are Brexiteers, people who believe today that leaving the European Union is either a wonderful idea or they're completely indifferent to the damage it's doing to Britain. While not all people who voted to leave are racists, all racists, it seems, voted to leave. Here is Exhibit A, Sir Edward Leigh, who believes that the racists who voted to kick out Europeans back in 2016 will be angry if Boris Johnson encourages Indians to come to Britain. The mask has finally slipped.
Apparently the government is thinking of relaxing visa controls from India in order to get a free trade deal. Whilst a free trade deal is valuable in itself, we should not be held to ransom. Would he agree with me that our new working class voters who voted Brexit did not vote to replace immigration from Europe with more immigration from the rest of the world, any more than when they were told that they would take back control, we would lose control of the channel? So will he convince us that he's determined to connect to our supporters and control immigration?
To our supporters, the working class. So he's basically saying the racists. The racists voted for Brexit in order to stop immigration. And they're not happy with the idea that Boris Johnson is signing a trade deal with India, and one of the requirements from the Indian government is to allow more Indian people to come to Britain. You know, the racists didn't replace one group of people with another. They want to keep all foreigners out.
Yes, Mrs. I don't recognise the account he's given at all. We don't do free trade deals on that basis, and I can tell him actually.
No, you'll do a trade deal on whatever basis the other side want. You know, we've seen it with New Zealand, we've seen it with Japan, we've seen it with Australia. Boris Johnson and his government will sign away anything. No, I have no problem with people from India coming to Britain. But the racists do. And Boris Johnson is afraid to piss off the racists. But he also has to appear as, well, he's not racist himself. So it's a bit of a tightrope he's walking here. He wants to keep the racists on side, but then he also has to keep ordinary people on side as well. So he can't appear to be giving in too much to them. And at the same time as well, he has to sign a trade deal because he needs to sell something to the public.
That net immigration, since we took back control, has gone down, Mr. Speaker.
So net immigration has gone down, and we've seen the consequences of that. Empty supermarket shelves, a lack of heavy goods vehicle drivers, not enough workers to process meat, for example, so it has to be exported to the Republic of Ireland for processing and then shipped back again. Yes, it has been a huge success, hasn't it?
And we will continue to make sure that we take advantage. And that's all they want, Mr. Speaker. Their answer is...
And he's attacking the Labour Party here. So the racist stood up and said, why are we allowing more foreigners in? And instead of actually responding to that, Boris Johnson is redirecting his ire towards the Labour Party. Really? Well, he has nothing else. He can't give in to the racists because then he will appear like a racist himself. But then he can't avoid the question because he's going to piss off the racists. Boris Johnson is on borrowed time here.
Everywhere and always, release uncontrolled immigration. That is their approach.
There was never uncontrolled immigration in Britain. Now, of course, the racists will call it, they will call freedom of movement uncontrolled immigration.
To the economy, and it's not the right way forward. That's why our Borders Bill currently in the House of Lords is so important, Mr. Speaker, because it enables us properly to take back control of our borders and to tackle illegal immigration, Mr. Speaker. And what would be good, Mr. Speaker, is to hear from some support from the Labour benches.
His problem is not the Labour benches. His problem is his home party. They're, as I said, walking this tightrope of we want to keep the racists happy because they voted for Brexit and they continue to think that Brexit is a good idea. And on the other side, well, we don't want to appear racist because it's not a real vote winner. It's a vote winner with some, but not with everyone. This is a pathetic response from Boris Johnson. A real leader would have told Sir Edward Leigh to shut the hell up and say, we're not like you. We don't want people like you. You represent the past. But then Boris Johnson doesn't want to do that because deep down, I think Boris Johnson maybe agrees. I hope not, but perhaps he does. Perhaps he agrees with Sir Edward Leigh. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.